Hello everyone, before we begin, I would like to mention that I have created a Volans Gaming community Discord. If you go to the link in the description, you will receive an invitation to the Discord. Once you accept, you will be able to talk with me, other fans, and other members of the community. Once again, the link is in the description, and I highly suggest that you guys go check that out. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Volans and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda, the Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we came here to the Death Mountain entrance to Goron Mines. We sumo wrestled this big old dude here. And now, we are going to begin our second dungeon, the Goron Mines. One of the most cool ambient themes to a Zelda dungeon. However, this dungeon isn't overly memorable. You know, not memorable. There's nothing really that interesting about it other than the way that they utilize the iron boots in this game. In this dungeon is kind of cool, but I don't know. I mean, there's nothing overly interesting. Just trying to take them off before, but I guess I didn't. I failed. Okay. Ow. Uh-oh. I'm burning up. Can I, like, unequip my shield? Alright, I'm not burning anymore anyway. Alright. What's up here? Oh, hello. So one of the interesting things that I actually learned about this game is that I feel like I already knew this, but I'm not entirely sure. This game was essentially a complete overhaul of the graphics compared to the Wind Waker, because at the time of the Wind Waker's release, it was not a very popular game because of its graphics. A lot of fans didn't really appreciate the cartoony, cel-shaded theme that the Wind Waker had. So they were like, well, let's do the exact opposite then. And that's when, come on, don't do this to me. Whew. Okay. And that's when Twilight Princess came to be. It became the essentially exact opposite of what Wind Waker was, and I thought that was pretty interesting, because I've always been a huge fan of Twilight Princess and its graphic style. And one of the other things I remember from when I was a kid was that when Twilight Princess came out, I really liked its graphics, and I always remember praising Twilight Princess as a kid for its graphics. And then when Skyward Sword came out in 2011, I remember everybody complaining about the graphics again, and like, these graphics aren't realistic and stuff like that. And I remember being in that same boat. Like, you go from these beautiful graphics of Twilight Princess to the polar opposite, kinda, with Skyward Sword, where Skyward Sword just kinda like reverts back to the way that oh jeez, kind of reverts back to the way that the Wind Waker was. And I remember hating Skyward Sword for a little bit there because of the total opposite feel of the graphics that they had. You know, they went from Wind Waker, which was cartoony, to Twilight Princess, which was extremely realistic, and then back to Skyward Sword, which was like the cel-shaded, watercolor graphics. And like, I don't know, I always remember being in the boat of, you know, Twilight Princess has the best graphics in the series. And you know, the HD version of the game that they released a couple years ago, I want to say 2016, those graphics were incredible. You know, like, if you want the true Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess experience, go play the HD version on the Wii U. It's a very good game. It's got probably the best well, it definitely has the best graphics in comparison to the original that I'm playing. But like, I actually would like the next Legend of Zelda game to have Twilight Princess-esque graphics, you know, because I really like these, and I think the HD version really did it justice. Like, apparently it was kind of like a craze way back in like 2008 to have these kind of dark and like grainy textures. Oh, hello. Come on, guy. And like, I really like these graphics, you know, and I wish that the next Legend of Zelda game would do something similar to that. And like, there's a like Breath of the Wild is another one of those games that has really solid graphics. You know, I love Breath of the Wild. And there's a bug where if you go underneath one of the bridges and you go in like a certain spot, it removes the cel shading that the game has kind of like After Effects in. And I think it looks so cool to like, I periodically just go to that look. Whoops. No, don't burn the shield up. Okay, good. I'll periodically go to the location of that bridge, and I'll do the cel shading glitch, and I think it looks really cool, you know, because it looks like Twilight Princess, you know, but with like HD looking graphics, and I think it looks really cool. But there's always been something about Twilight Princess and its dark and grainy looking graphics that I can like really appreciate. I really like it, you know. Whoops. That was great. You know, and I wish they would do that in another Zelda game. That's why I'm kind of like hoping that in the next Zelda game they do something like that. You know, just kind of go back to the Twilight Princess kind of style graphics, because I really like that, and I really think it looks good. I'm not gonna make it. Nope. Gosh damn it. I know what I gotta do, Minda. You don't have to tell me. I know what I gotta do. Okay, now you shut up. Yeah, there's something about this dungeon. I don't know. I don't really like it very much. I mean, something that King K, which if you don't follow him, I highly suggest that you do so. He's a great YouTuber. He makes like retrospective videos about like critique review games about, or review videos of like certain games and whatnot. He's made one of Twilight Princess, and one of the things that why am I not reading this? I don't know why I'm not reading this. He made a video that talks about like Twilight Princess and like how a lot of its dungeons are very linear, and I like how like he talked about how in Ocarina of Time, like the Forest Temple was one of the least linear dungeons, and how it's therefore one of the greatest dungeons in that game. In this dungeon in particular, I can kind of agree, it's pretty linear, which makes this less enjoyable for me, but it's quick to go through. I don't know exactly what this guy is talking about, what I skipped for some reason, I have no idea why. I am one of the 4 Goron elders. Goramoto is my name. You are heroic, young man. Please, you must lend this tribe your power. And so, what these things are, is these are key shards. It requires 3 shards to make the big key. You need 3 pieces, hurry the other elders. I don't know why I keep skipping. I don't know why I keep just skipping stuff, but whatever. At least we got the dungeon map now, so. What's in this chest? A red rupee, okay. Let's see, I gotta go up. Up the ladder. Come on, Link, get off. We're not playing around. Get up on, thank you. So I actually recently started to play around a little bit with a Metroid Prime randomizer, which let me just do this little scene really quick. Phew, free at last. Gracious, you're a nice fellow who helped me out the other day. How nice to see you again. Well, now that we've found each other again, let's stick together for a bit, I'll be right with you, so if you want to warp out, just let me know. Now I got this guy again. Which, if you don't remember, he allows us to get out of a dungeon whenever we want. Ain't that nice? So I've been playing around with a Metroid Prime randomizer recently. A friend, Hylian Luke, another guy I would highly suggest that you go check out. He makes amazing Legend of Zelda videos. A good friend I actually went to high school with. Come on, lock on. I guess that works, okay. He makes, why am I doing this? I can just... Wait, do I have a... Why am I not using my slingshot? God, it's been a while since I played Twilight Princess. I can't kill these guys. Well, then what the heck am I supposed to do? He actually recently did a, Ocarina of Time randomizer, and I watched one of his videos that he made, one of his streams about it. And I really thought it was, pretty cool. It was pretty interesting, and I thought I'd like to get into something like that. Of course, I am not a huge fan of Ocarina of Time. Never actually completed the game because I keep getting, like, bored by it. But, like, I don't need to go this way. But, like, he kind of got me thinking, like, what if they made a randomizer for something like Metroid Prime, which is, like, one of my favorite games. And I got looking around, and my god, they actually have a randomizer for Metroid Prime. And so I started playing around with the, I actually started playing around a little bit with the randomizer, and it was a lot of fun. I thought maybe, this would be something cool to do for, another, like, session play, kind of like what I'm doing for Metroid Zero Mission, which, by the way, if you have not checked that out, I would highly suggest you do it. I thought about doing, like, a session play for the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker or Metroid Prime, because I've already played around quite a bit with the randomizer for Metroid Prime, and maybe doing something for, like, the Wind Waker, if, or when I eventually finish the game, or maybe just go all the way through it with a randomizer anyway. Not that that'd be extremely difficult, because I haven't played the game completely all the way through in, like, 10 years or something like that, but, like, I think you know what I mean. I would rather do one for Metroid Prime, because I know what I'm doing in that game, right? But, like, I don't know, I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. Do, like, a session play for, I will never get over that cool freaking flick that he does with the sword. But, like, I don't know, I think that'd be something cool to do for, like, a session playthrough of Metroid Prime. Like a session play randomizer for Metroid Prime. Because, like, if you don't exactly know what I'm talking about when it's a session play, it's basically me playing a game, in this case Metroid Zero Mission, that I've never actually played before. And, I'll play the game for, like, an hour and 45 minutes is what my first session for Zero Mission was, or, it could be like a half an hour, it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. Just do something like that for a Metroid Prime randomizer. Because, I have not entirely beaten my randomizer yet. Basically all I gotta do now is go fight the final boss. So, like, I'm at the same place right now as I am with the actual series. Which, by the way, if you know what I'm talking about and you follow that series, I actually figured out where that one missile expansion was that I kind of just gave up on. I found it out in the randomizer. But, I'm gonna go down there and get that chest. But like, I don't know, I feel like that'd be something cool to do. Cause, a lot of people have been asking for some more Nintendo style. Can I get up there, please? No? Apparently I can't get up there. Alright. So people have been asking for some more Metroid style, or not Metroid style, Nintendo style videos, you know. Maybe something like somebody who I've been talking to recently, Sleepy, who taught me a little bit about playing Spy and MVM a little bit, a lot better. They commented on my Metroid Prime 2 is a bad game video. And they were talking about how they really liked Metroid Prime 2, but they also really liked, like Metroid Prime 1, but not Metroid Prime 3, and like, they wanted to see more videos of stuff like that. And I was like, well, yeah, I'd love to make more videos like that, you know. I've actually been debating about doing a script for what makes a good boss, or how difficulty affects bosses, and like why difficulty can make a good boss a bad or a good boss. I can't talk. How difficulty can make a boss a good boss or a bad boss, and just like stuff like that. Oops, I didn't mean to hit it twice. I've been debating about doing a script for something like that. Because it's something I thought about talking about, because, like, I talked about in my, 50-minute long frickin', Metroid Prime, video that was, like, me finishing up cleanup and whatnot. I talked briefly about how I was playing Metroid Fusion and how it was a really difficult game, and it kind of like deterred me away from playing it again. Kind of like the same way that Metroid Prime 2 Echoes deterred me away from playing the game. And I don't know, I thought that'd be something to talk about, because like there's a couple bosses in Fusion that are like overly difficult, more difficult than they should be, or there's like specific parts of it that are too difficult. But like there's a difference between too difficult and, or there's a difference between RNG difficulty and like learn to try again difficulty, if that makes some sense. Whoops, not what I meant to do. And how, like, there was another door in that room I kind of needed to go through, because I don't think I can do anything here. Yeah, there's nothing I can do in this room. Because, like, there were some bosses in that game that were, like, overly difficult. And then there were, like, some bosses, but, like, in that game, you know, Metroid Fusion, like I said, there were some bosses that were overly difficult, but there were also some bosses that, like, bosses in games like Metroid Prime 2 Echoes that, like, you can beat the bosses, but, like, I just dropped down the floor, didn't I? Son of a gun. Like, there were some bosses in that floor that, you know, are tough to beat, but, like, it was fulfilling to, like, beat them. Whoops. That's kind of stupid. Like, for example, Gedo X, which is like a spider boss in Metroid Fusion. It's a fairly difficult boss to fight and, you know, to defeat and whatnot, but, like, oh good, they brought me back up to this floor. Thank God. Like, he's a fairly difficult boss to defeat, but, like, as long as you know what you're doing, you shouldn't have that hard of a time, you know what I'm saying? We'll continue to talk about this a little bit more in the next episode. Yeah, we're about the 25-minute mark, so we're gonna go ahead and end the episode off here. We, began to explore the Goron Mines a little bit. And, we got 1 key shard out of 3, so we're working on it. But as for the episode at hand, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and give the video a like and comment. If you'd like to see more of me, go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd like to receive notifications on whenever I upload a video, hit the bell icon. Anyway, guys, we'll talk to you in the next episode, so take care.